So, Ciccio, you have the unenviable position of standing between these people and lunch.
I will try to do as fast as I can.
Oh, yeah. And just a quick note for all the speakers today and tomorrow. We'll do right when Ciccio finishes and we break for lunch, if you can just come up on stage for the annual group picture.
Okay, so I go. So, good morning to everyone, and I'm very excited to speak in front of such a great audience after 2 years that I didn't talk. But I'm very excited too because for the first time in my life, I will talk in the name of my own company called 3IP, and that was a dream that I had since I was a child. So I would like to thank you everyone that gave me the courage and strength to start this great adventure that it will last until I live. By the way, 3IP stands for Italian Independent Investment Partner. It's an investment holding company focused on Italian high-quality business, and I think that 3AP possesses a structural competitive advantage compared to all the players in investment management business for this reason. Permanent or quasi-permanent capital that allow us to make the investment or disinvestment when we think they are appropriate and not according to inflow, outflow, that generally speaking they arrive at the wrong moment. Second, our structure allows us to be very focused and concentrate on best idea. We will have no more than 10 investments per time, and most of the time we can be more concentrated than that. And third, we can hold cash in absence of opportunity that can allow doesn't fit with our investment criteria, and this allows us to welcome the drop in the share price of the company that are made in our wishing list. The leading online luxury fashion retail, it's a global company, has almost 3 million customers, process almost more than 80 million orders, one every 4 seconds. The 2016 sales are roughly 2 billion and growing roughly 20% organically, and the market cap is 3 billion, and the gap APS is almost 100. So at the beginning it's not a cheap business, but I will explain you why I think that YNAP, Yux Net-a-Porter, is one of the best business I'm aware in Italy, is one of the best investment that one can do in Italy. By the way, I like the quality of the business first. I mean, when you compare the online business with the offline business, the former present a better quality of the business in terms of less, because it's less capital intensive and possess higher margin than the offline. And this is due to all kind of advantages that the online has compared to offline. Cost structure. Think about the cost structure of offline. The cost structure of offline business is made primarily by labor and real estate. And these are expenses are variable. It means that if you want to double the sales, roughly you have to double the labor and real estate. And these are also inflationary costs. On the contrary, in an online business, the cost structure is made primarily by technology. That is a fixed cost and it's a deflationary cost. Also, online business has a better pricing and inventory management, pricing of product, service, better inventory management, thanks to the data gathering that the online business possesses compared to offline. Also, the online business has not physical constraint on selection, has the best convenience because you can buy whenever you want, from wherever you want. And also, thanks to all the data that this company track about our browsing activity, our buying activity, they do kind of a personal shop. So, and then you have scale, network effect, brand, all this quality makes the business online much more better than the traditional offline luxury fashion retail. But I like the quality of competitive position of the company. It's a YNAP, it's a leader with 10% market share, and also it's a leader in the as a average order value around 300. And this competitive position is made by 3 business models, each one with different value proposition, different customer segmentation, but they share all together both the technology and the logistical platform. Multi-brand season, multi-brand off-season, and online flagship store. This is a global company, but I like the business. I like the quality of competitive position company, and I like the quality of prospect to grow. The personal luxury good market is around 280 billion and is expected to grow between 3–4% in the next 3 years. But what struck me is the online penetration inside the personal luxury market. And as you can see from this chart, I think today it's around 80%, but still it's at early stage to shift online. So just to summarize, I think that if the current penetration of the online at 8% go to 20% in the next decade and luxury goods grow at 3–4%, I think that in the next 10 years the sales of NIAP could grow at high teens. But I like the quality of management too. So I like the quality of the business, I like the quality of competitive position, I like the quality of prospect to grow, and I like the quality of the management too. I will show you these videos that can give you more flavor about the CEO of this company, also is the owner.
In the last 70 years, we built an incredible customer base, which is made of 3 million active customers. 2% of the customers, they represent 40% of the sales of the hotel. So we have customers who spend more than €1 million per year, and they buy 20 bespoke suits in one city, and they spend more than $35,000 on a dress. Last year, $2 billion sales, half of it, $1 billion, is through mobile. Mobile is the new home for luxury. We predict by 2020, most of our sales will be through mobile, and New Zealand will be a mobile-only company. €80,000 watch was sold via WhatsApp 2 weeks ago. And we sold 133,000 watch. Just
so that's just, I hope that you can give much flavor about the management. But I like the management also because for the power of the right incentive that are inside this company. CEO, that guy that we was spoken before, and with the other management team owns almost 10% of the company. And the CEO stock owned outright value exceed the total compensation by 160 times. So, I mean, he's been a great operator, great capital allocator. In the last years, always, the market has rewarded this great operator, a great capital allocator, because as Buffett test on management has been always passed. So you have people that have a dream to become the leading online luxury, fashion, retail worldwide, great people and great ownership culture. So you have all the precondition to a great creation of value. And then I like also the price. So I like the business, I like the quality of competitive position, I like the quality of prospect to grow, I like the quality of management, and I like the price. I mean, NIAP's profitability is misunderstood. Why? We have this kind of philosophy inside 2AP that each industry has its underlying economic characteristic. What I mean by that, I mean, if you look at the the normalized operating margin of the offline luxury fashion retail before the digital revolution, they are between 7 and 10%. So I think that the benchmark in this business should be around that kind of range. On the contrary, YOOX is earning on pre-tax margin between 4% and 2.8%. But why this happened? Because YOOX Net-a-Porter is in a high growth mode and is aggressively investing in new categories, in new geography, in logistics, in technology, in new acquisition of the customer. All this investment depress short-term margin, and most of investors, fortunately, they are anchored on GAAP. But we have to focus on normalized margin. So if you look at this investment line, it just focus on to sales and marketing and technological operation, together almost 20% of the sales. And we just add back 1/5 of this investment growth, so only 20%, we get a normalized margin of EBIT that is completely different from the GAAP EBIT. And we get also a normalized return on investment capital. So already VIS, if you normalize the margin, is operating with a 7.5% normalized margin, and this translating almost to 35% of return on investment capital and make the VIS a great business. And in 2010, VIS earned a 7% GAAP operating margin. This is a direct evidence that the business can be run with higher than recent margin. And this is the valuation. Actually, is a little bit went up in the last days, but it doesn't change the investment thesis. So you have EV on OPAT 2016, 32, and EV on OPAT 4 around 30. So if you look at the number and the multiple, you think that this company is not cheap. But when you compare this multiple to the average business, I think that there is still room to VIS market intrinsic value to grow. VIS possesses 3 times the return on capital of VIS is 3 times the average business. The growth rate is 3 times the average business, but still trade at 2 times the multiple of average business. So just to summarize, I think that the prospective stock CAGR is very similar to prospective revenue CAGR. The margin is likely to expand from 7 to 10. The multiple may contract. These 2 factors could roughly cancel out. Therefore, I believe that NIAP stock could return 20% almost over the next decade. This in your excess cash. This was I presented VIS in 2014. It's already almost a 3-bagger. And that time, the multiple was almost double the one that are today, because we were talking in terms of multiple or normalized operating profit after tax around 50, and today we are around 30. This is my mistake. I mean, the value trap. I would say that people tend to generalize that everything is fair valued around 15, and everything that is behind is cheap, and everything that is above is expensive. But there is a lot of dispersion around the average, and this simplification brings people to make a lot of error of omission in the second time, in the second case, error of commission in the first case. So don't think that something is statistically cheap, it's automatically a bargain. Be careful about the management, especially in commodity business, and be careful of a state-owned company, and be careful giving 100% value to excess cash. Regarding the bank business, I mean, the domino effect, regulatory risk, all this, think about all this stress test in Europe that they have never prevented a failure of a bank. Actually, they have put banks in failure, by the way. But most important things in business of investing, it's not important how many times you are right or wrong, but how much money you make when you are right and how much money you lose when you are wrong. And this is the book that I suggest to you. What struck me was the passion of these guys all the time in whatever he did. He succeeded in everything he did. And thank you.
Questions?
Hi, I was just wondering how you think they will be able to continue to grow while keeping kind of that exclusive luxury brand and balance that with trying to avoid competing with some of the faster fashion like boohoo.com things.
Yeah, I mean, VIS is already leader of the market. All these guys, they are 1/10 roughly of that one. And I think that The network effect is really great in place in this case, and I think that the quality of the management, the quality of the financial strength of this company to pursue that kind of growth will act as a tailwind to some things that, you know, is this big way that is shifting online. I don't know if I answered your question. I mean, I think that the big risk is, I mean, first I think the risk has a reasonable probability of permanent loss of capital. So I don't know what the company will do or the stock will do in the next month, or even 1 year or 2 years, but I'm sure that VIS will be the leader in 5 years, and it will be a much, much bigger company than it's today. It's kind of the company that Buffett called inevitable, no? And so I think the biggest risk, apart from this, I think is if that I misread the future economic prospect of the company. So I misjudgment the quality of the enduring competitive advantage. I misjudgment the quality of managing in widening and deepening the moat. That I think that VIS already has a sustainable competitive advantage in its brand, in network effect, habit. And I will tell you one thing, the difference between offline and online regarding the brand is huge. What I mean by that when you gain a trust in online, it's difficult that other people try another place, no? So I think that will dominate VIS, the online luxury fashion retail worldwide.
I see this company has a very high return on capital. If you could say like something about the historical high return on capital, if it's always been like that, the return on capital of the company in the last 5 years, and if you could say something about the network effect that should be good for this company and what make it being better, keep against from the competitors.
If you normalize the margin going back in the years, has been around always 30–40%. So that's the first answer to your question. Regarding your second question, and maybe some things that I forgot, regarding the competition, I think that VIS could act as aggregator too, because it's the one that has the scale globally already, and has all the distribution channel for the fashion house. And so I think that the probability, but I don't want to think about, I don't want to put in my potential intrinsic range value all the optionality that there are with VIS, but I would say to you that VIS could become an aggregator.
Okay, thank you, Ciccio. We'll break for lunch for about an hour.